All right, if you're in HR or talent leadership, you know what I'm talking about. The AI hype is just relentless. It's everywhere. And the big challenge is trying to cut through all that noise to figure out what's actually going to make a difference for your people. It's overwhelming, right? So how do you find that signal in the noise? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's decode this thing together.
It really begs the question, doesn't it? Is AI this silver bullet that's going to solve all our workforce problems? I mean, the marketing sure makes it sound like that. But you and I both know the real answer is a lot more complicated. And, getting it wrong isn't just about missing out on an opportunity. It can be a seriously expensive mistake.
So you've got this huge gap, right? On one side, you have the hype, this promise of a magic plug-and-play solution for literally everything. And then there's the reality. Costly mistakes, projects that just don't deliver, and a whole lot of frustration. Look, chasing that shiny new object, that silver bullet, it almost never works. What we really need is something a lot more grounded, a lot more strategic.
Okay, so how do we actually get grounded? We're going to tap into a guide that's built for the real world. We're pulling directly from the Endeavor Report's strategic playbook because it gives us this evidence-based shortcut. It's a way to jump past all the theory and get straight to real, tangible impact.
And the real power of this playbook? It's all based in reality. I love this quote from David Kelly, former CEO of the Learning Guild. He says it's a showcase of real examples from real teams doing meaningful work. See, we're not just talking about what might be possible someday. We're looking at what is actually working for organizations right now. And we're not talking about hypotheticals here. The insights in this playbook, they come from real pioneers across all kinds of industries. We've got global tech companies like EPM Systems and ZoomInfo, industrial giants like Gaylor Electric, and even innovative food chains like Itsu. And the best part? They didn't just share their wins. They shared the tough lessons they learned along the way. Okay, so with all these different approaches out there, we kind of need a map to make sense of it all, right? So let's introduce the Applied Workforce Solutions Navigator. I want you to think of it like a strategic compass. It's a simple framework, but it's super powerful for helping you figure out where you're going and how to plan your moves, cutting through all that confusion. So here's how the Navigator works. It maps everything out on two simple axes. First, you've got the vertical axis. This is your why. It's your main goal. Are you trying to achieve operational excellence? Things like cutting costs, boosting efficiency? Or are you aiming for something bigger, like transformative capability, building totally new skills for the future? Then you have the horizontal axis. This is your how. Are you going with adaptive integration, basically buying or adapting tech that's already out there? Or are you going down the path of novel solution crafting, where you actually build the thing from scratch? So, these two axes, they create four really clear, distinct strategic paths. And this is where it gets super interesting, because now we can see how real companies fit into these four boxes and the incredible results they got. Let's dive into the first one. First up, we have Quadrant 1, the efficiency accelerators. This is probably the most common starting point. You're using adaptable tech, often something you buy from a vendor, and your goal is pure operational excellence. You're just trying to make your existing processes better, faster, and cheaper. Now, to win in this quadrant, you have to be absolutely laser-focused. It's all about doing that hard work up front, really digging in, analyzing your processes to find the real bottleneck, and then defining a super clear, quantifiable return on investment. You have to know exactly what problem you're solving and what success looks like. And check this out. Here's what that looks like in the real world. Gaylor Electric. They adapted some existing AI tools for their multilingual safety training, and the result? A 12 times reduction in their localization costs. I mean, come on, that is a textbook efficiency win. It's pragmatic, it's targeted, and it has a massive impact on the bottom line. Okay, let's move to Quadrant 2, the strategic enablers. Here, the goal shifts. It's more transformative. We're talking about building new skills or really boosting employee performance. But you're still using adaptable tech, maybe through some smart partnerships. You're basically leveraging proven tools to achieve a much bigger, more strategic goal. But here's the key to success in this quadrant.
It all comes down to a seamless connection. You need this really deep alignment between your people strategy, what you're trying to do for your employees, and how you actually integrate the technology. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about how that tech serves your talent goals and, frankly, making sure people will actually want to use it.
And wow, the results here can be seriously profound. Take the food chain Itsu. They brought in a gamified mobile learning platform, and get this, they saw a 47% drop in churn for their new employees. Think about that. That's not just some nice training metric. That is a huge business outcome that saves a ton of money on recruiting and onboarding.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Now we're moving over to Quadrant 3, the core process innovators. So the goal is still operational excellence, just like in Quadrant 1, but here's the big difference. They're building their own solutions. Why? Because the off-the-shelf stuff just isn't going to cut it for their really specific, unique challenges.
Now, to pull this off, you need a team of builders. Success here really hinges on having strong internal tech talent and really deep subject matter expertise. You can't fake this. It takes a culture that genuinely supports internal R&D, one that empowers its teams to go out and create custom solutions for the company's most valuable problems.
Just look at EPAM Systems. They built their very own AI-driven system to automate how they verify learning for their tech teams, and the result was incredible. They saved up to 90% of their senior mentors' time. 90%! That freed up their most valuable experts to do high-value coaching instead of just checking boxes.
And that brings us to the final quadrant, number 4, the capability creators. Okay, this is the deep end of the pool, for sure. These are the true pioneers. They're aiming for total transformation, and they're building something completely new to get there. We're talking about creating truly groundbreaking capabilities that could redefine not just a department, but maybe even an entire industry. Yeah, this path is definitely not for the faint of heart. It demands a really bold, strategic vision. You have to have a high tolerance for complexity, for things not working the first time, for experimentation. And yeah, it requires significant investment. You're not just improving something, you are literally defining a whole new standard of performance. And the AO Foundation is just the perfect example of this. They developed a radiation-free simulation technology so they could train orthopedic surgeons. This thing provides a safe, incredibly realistic, and data-driven way for surgeons to practice and hone their skills. It's setting a whole new global standard for how surgeons are trained. I mean, it is truly game-changing stuff. Okay, so now you've seen the 4 paths. You get the framework. But the big question is, how do you actually apply this to your organization? Well, this is where we go back to the strategic playbook. It gives you a clear, structured 4-step journey to take that big AI promise and turn it into a real, defensible plan. The playbook just lays it all out for you. It's a simple 4-step journey. Step 1, diagnose your strategic intent using that navigator we just talked about. Step 2, build your actual strategic plan. Step 3, design a way to validate your ideas with a focused pilot project. And finally, step 4, articulate a business case that's impossible to ignore. And let me tell you, that 3rd step, validation, is so critical. The playbook has this great piece of wisdom, and it's clearly hard-won. It says a pilot that tries to prove everything often proves nothing. The key is to be disciplined. Define one main question you're trying to answer, put a time limit on your pilot, and focus on getting credible data that proves your case. So this all brings us to one last, really critical question for you to think about. In this world of just relentless change, is your organization actively designing its own future? Or are you just reacting to whatever the world throws at you next? Because ultimately, the choice you make there is going to define your impact.